Well, hello students. In this particular class, we are going to talk about and focus on building positive employee relations. And it is so important to talk about ensuring that employees get fair treatment in an organization. And we're going to touch a little bit upon bullying and victimizing. And we want to increase the level of cognition through our communication process. And we want to talk about getting employees involved to help with decision making, positive stuff. We're going to be talking about also the ethical components of an organization. We're going to be discussing ethics and employee rights and what actually shapes ethical behavior in the workplace. We're going to go through a few scenarios about that. And it's important that when we discuss ethics, we're going to be looking at how HR managers can actually create more ethical environments for their employees. Talking a little bit about the three pillars of fair discipline is going to be significant in this particular chapter's discussion, and why diversity counts. Then we're going to go into another facet of the employee-employer relationship, and that is going to be how to properly discipline an employee without punishment. What about, we always hear about what are the best companies to work for. We're going to talk about that as well. How does a company get to be one of the best companies to work for? And talk about what we refer to as a bona fide human resource philosophy. So these are the things that in this particular chapter, in chapter 14, that are going to be quite essential. And I think it's really important to be able to understand how significant creating a good, positive employment environment is. So, again, it's important to understand that a progressive disciplinary procedure isn't out there just to be punitive. A progressive disciplinary procedure does have positive aspects to it, and that is to make employees understand why it's important to understand and build relationships in a positive environment. So, we have organic institutions that are positive, and we want to keep them positive. These are companies that perform and promote challenging work. When we get to chapter 15, we're going to be talking about labor relations and collective bargaining. This could be a course in and of itself, but we're going to be talking about basically what is the strategic motivation of a labor movement. What do unions really accomplish? Why do we organize? What do unions want? What is the significance of the AFL-CIO? And we're going to be talking about unfair union labor practices. And we're going to talk about what is collective bargaining all about, especially going to get into what is collective bargaining that is done in good faith. What are good bargaining tools? What are line items? Why is it significantly important to understand building negotiating skills, good, strong negotiating skills? And we're going to be talking a little bit about impasses, mediations, and strikes. How do we deal with grievances and disputes? So these are kind of the interesting things we're going to talk about this week in chapters 14 and 15. So along those notes and along those ideas, have a wonderful week. And as we know, there's just one more week after this one, and the course is done. Okay.